Mystery deepens as DOJ FBI 757 jet makes second flight to Clinton's hometown Little Rock in 2 days with secret cargo. An interesting article was posted on a site that talked about a stealth flight into Little Rock, back to Virginia, and that it occurred twice this week. For starters, if it was a stealth flight, then how do we know about it? That's not so stealth, is it? The flight in question is supposedly a DOJ/F.B.I. 757, and the thought is that this might have something to do with Hillary Clinton. What would it have to do with her? We don't know. Is she being investigated? Is she being protected? We really don't know and will not say one way or the other until we have fact-based evidence of what's actually going on. If this is a conspiracy or fact is yet to be determined, and we are not confirming that it is true or false because the website we found this on is using sources as their source of information. Without knowing the sources of the information, we should be wary of what we're reading and do some research on the topic ourselves before deciding what to believe. Whenever a story says their sources are named sources, then we have to wonder who those sources are. We should always fact-check and double-check the stories we read and share. Now here's where it gets interesting, and I've copied the story here for you to analyze on your own. Can you figure out what's really going on? Read with caution, question everything, and do your own research. This is getting very interesting. A stealth DOJ flight into Little Rock and then back to Virginia has gone down twice this week, according to flight intel and sources, or it would have been stealth if it were up to the mainstream media. The DOJ/F.B.I. 757 made an additional flights on Thursday as well as a previous flights this week detailed below. The plane left Virginia at 11:56 a.m. and arrived in Little Rock at 1:31 p.m., according to FAA records. The flight returned to Virginia on Thursday as well at approximately 5 p.m. Jumbo Jet 2. It was reported its first flight this week was apparently loaded with evidence. Yesterday, August 8, 2018, the at the Justice stepped at a Boeing 757-223 tail number N119 not in Little Rock, Arkansas. A local radio station reported #D.O.J. Employees were loading boxes of documents into the plane. Important to note at Clinton FDN located there. This is very interesting. A stealth DOJ flight into Little Rock and then back to Virginia, or it would have been stealth if it were up to the mainstream media. Jumbo Jet 2. Apparently loaded with evidence. Yesterday, August 8, 2018, the at the Justice stepped at a Boeing 757-223 tail number N119 not in Little Rock, Arkansas. A local radio station reported #D.O.J. Employees were loading boxes of documents into the plane. Important to note at Clinton FDN located there. Thoughts? Basham. In early July, True Pundit reported FBI insiders complaining about Little Rock FBI's lack of progress on the Clinton Foundation probe, which they said was being hampered by a loyalist of Andrew McCabe and James Comey. Perhaps Little Rock has since been removed from the probe. Per that exclusive report, FBI officials in the Little Rock field office in Arkansas are not actively pursuing leads on the Clinton Foundation, according to several FBI insiders who are blowing the whistle on the Bureau's investigative ruse. Everyone and their mother knows the Clinton Foundation is a front for personal and private gain, bending and breaking numerous state and federal laws for decades. Except, apparently, the FBI. Little Rock FBI's special agent in charge Diane Upchurch has all but smothered the investigation, which at one point was focusing on money laundering and other financial-based crimes, FBI officials said. There was some momentum, but that is gone, one FBI agent said. We made some huge inroads. This thing, Clinton Foundation probe, is on its deathbed. Upchurch, before taking the head job in Little Rock in 2016 after a James Comey promotion, was a lieutenant of former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe in Washington, D.C. She served as a section chief, SES, in the Counterterrorism Division for nearly 3 years. Sources report Upchurch is a McCabe loyalist. McCabe, who was promoted to Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterterrorism Division by then Director Robert S. Mueller in 2012, was Upchurch's supervisor. McCabe and Comey have since been fired from